Older, man, as you get older, things change as you get older. Things, and you start thinking about back in the day stuff, like I said earlier, but your body changes and just your appreciation of things change. And you do stuff to let you know that you have older people tendencies. Like even young people, you have older people tendencies, and I'm gonna tell you a few things to let you know you have older people tendencies. If you put your pajamas on and the sun is still up outside, older people tendencies right there. And you know what's crazy about that? You made your mind up when you was at work. You get off at 4. It was like 10:30. You was like, yep. It's going to be a flannel night as soon as I get home. It's just, and even comfort when you get older. Like most men, we work hard and you come home, you kick them boots off, boom, you're like, oh, relief. Yes. Oh, it feels so good. Ladies, your relief is completely different. Completely different relief. You walk in the house and pop your bra. Oh, Lord. Yes. You can unlock the door and pop it at the same time like, yes. He is real.
Hey you guys, I'm Venus Monique from the hit crime drama Vindication, and you guys should definitely make sure you're catching the Maurice Brown Show on Roku TV.
Yeah, hello everybody, and welcome to the Maurice Brown Show. And I would love to welcome a very, very excellent comedian. You were just watching him. Good stuff, dry bar comedy. He's been a professional for more than 20 years, and he's been on TBN's Praise the Lord, Fox, Dry Bar Comedy Club, and Norwegian Cruise Lines. With no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the very funny and talented Jay Stevens. What's up, Jay?
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? West side and east side. What's up, man?
Jay, I tell you, man, old folks' tendencies, man. I tell you, dude, I'm at that point now where I'm already thinking about bed when the sun's up.
Man, listen, old folks' tendencies is real. That's why I got these glasses on while I'm doing this interview, so I can make sure my camera is straight.
Oh, man. And when you... Hey, Jay, and when you get old, man, you walk into a room, you forget. Not only do you forget why you walked in, word to the wise, if you got 3 things to do them real quick before you forget.
Do them quick. Do them quick, because that mind,
out,
boy.
Man, you ain't gonna remember why you walked in
man,
there. Do them
man,
quick.
Walking in rooms, I done been on my cell phone in one app and think of something to do in another app. And then when I get to that next app, I'm like, what in the world was I supposed to do?
Hey, Jay, I got one for you. Hey, Jay, I got one for you. This will tell you when you're really old. I had a buddy of mine tell me the other day, he said he was going to an all-white party. And I was like, yo, I didn't know you got down with white people like that.
Hey, when you said that, it made me think of Terry Crews on White Chicks, where he was like, did anybody tell you that this was an all-white affair?
Oh, man. I tell you, that's when you're getting old. Jay, what's been going on, man? In the midst of this pandemic, we were just talking a little bit about, it's kind of funny. Can I go to this club? I'm not fully vaccinated. Do I need to go bring a negative test with me before I go perform? I'll tell you right now, Jay, I had an opportunity to be in a very well-known TV show, highly visible TV show. They picked me out specifically to audition, and I wasn't fully vaccinated. I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm. You know what? That's where we are at in the world today.
Yeah.
I know a lot of your followers and listeners are Christians, as I am.
Yeah.
And here's the truth, where the world is going, even though, let me say this, I believe in some form of fashion that the vaccine is a form of control. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. It's some form of control that we're not privy to on that level, but we're not ignorant either. You know, because when people are saying max a million and or Vax-A-Million. If you get vaccinated, you got a chance to win $1 million. Your companies are saying if you get vaccinated, you can get $10,000. They never did that for the flu shot. So it's something,
So, Jonathan,
greater than
yeah,
what we see. But on the same token, as entertainers, okay, as
yeah,
entertainers, if you don't want your career to be done, you got to get vaccinated. You have to get vaccinated. Now, if you work a job where it's a 9 to 5 job and, the company is like, if you get vaccinated or you don't, we don't care because you really work from home, then that's your choice. But as entertainers, if you want a career moving forward, you have to get vaccinated. And people say, man, I'm not getting that vaccine. I don't know what they put in that vaccine. Okay, here's another truth. Let's keep it 100 because Jay Stevens is getting interviewed today. You don't know what's in the Doritos that you eat. You don't know what's in the Oreo cookies that you smash. You don't know what was in that freaking Popeye's chicken sandwich that people was going crazy over. You don't know what's in half the stuff you put in your body. You got cigarette smokers who smoke 2 packs a day talking about, I'm not getting the vaccine because I don't know what's in it. But yet still he's smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. And I'm not judging you. I'm just making a point that we have to stop being lightweight, ignorant, and really think like, yo, I put so much other stuff in my body that, the vaccine, okay, yeah, I don't really know what's in it. But on the same token, if I want a career, I have to do it. Sorry, I took so long to say what I just said.
No. I mean, listen, dude, I'm on board with you. Here's the reality. There are a lot of people out there, and you and I, we're not saying you should or you shouldn't. It's totally up to you, whatever you want to do. Here's the reality. You're not going to be able to do certain things. And for myself personally, I went ahead and did it for the same reason. I mean, we're both in entertainment. We're actors. We're comedians. And it's like, if you want to work, get the shot. Look, Jay, let me just tell you, for myself, I'm like, okay, I don't want to do it. But since I'm pushed into a corner, and I know this is not the mark of the beast because I've read Revelation pretty well, at least about 15 times. Right. I'm like this. Okay, Christ has got my back. I just go ahead and take a shot and keep it moving. But it's so what's it been like for you in performing after, because we're getting close now, Jay, to where people start to go back out to the clubs and things are getting back to normal. Are you getting a lot of comedy dates?
Absolutely. I've been working all year.
Okay.
I got vaccinated as soon as the vaccines were available. I caught the COVID January of this year. Okay. I had COVID of January, but I'm a pretty healthy dude, so it didn't really affect me at all. I was still working out while I had it because I understand. Wow. Throughout my entire life, whenever I got sick, I went to the gym.
Yes, sir.
Or I worked out at home. Okay, let me throw that out there. I worked out at home when I had COVID. But any other time, I'm like, I'm sweating this out. I got to keep working out. So I was working out, building up my immune system, eating even stronger, healthier to get it out my system. Now I have to apologize publicly to my family because my daughter-in-law, and my son, and my wife, a completely different story. Especially my wife, she was down and out. And so when the vaccine became available, I jumped on it. I was like, you know what? I understand and I see where the world is going with this vaccine. And listen to me, I love making you guys laugh. I love it. So there's no way I am not going to get this vaccine and stop me from doing what I love, which is making you guys laugh. So I got vaccinated immediately. I've been all over the country, doing churches and doing comedy clubs. I haven't got back into the cruise ships yet because I don't know how that's going to go. But yeah, man, I got vaccinated early.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that actually later on in the show about cruise lines, because I know you did Norwegian before the pandemic, and I was wondering if they have started to do shows on these cruises again, or, because I know the cruises are going back out, but I didn't know if comics had gotten back into the circuit.
Yeah, I don't know because I haven't talked to my agent about cruise ships, so I don't know what they're doing right now.
Yeah. Now, during the pandemic, you had an opportunity to start a clothing line. Jay, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so actually, I didn't start it during the pandemic. Actually, I'm 3 years in. I started in 2018.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. We 3 years in, man, and it's been a tremendous blessing. Shout out to all my Focus Family. That's what I call them. Focus Family around the country. We growing weekly. The name of my brand is Focus Clothing. This is actually one of the hoodies that I have on. It just dropped 2 weeks ago. You could go to focusclothingcle.com. That's CLE as in Cleveland, focusclothingcle.com. And we have hoodies and hats. And next month, I'm releasing joggers because jogging pants, joggers are very, very comfortable and an everyday go-to. And we're very excited, man. You know, I've always been into fashion growing up, and I always wanted my own clothing line. And one day I was like thinking about the word focus. And I was like, focus is a pretty amazing word. I actually was going to speak to some young people, and I was trying to lock in on what I was going to say to them at this high school. And I was like, come on, baby, you got to focus. And I was like, ooh, that's it right there. So I started looking into the word. And it's amazing how once you start looking into something, you realize how much we use it. We use the word focus so much in a day-to-day conversation or day-to-day confession or thinking that it's such a powerful word. So I took the word and I got with my team and created some good designs and very high quality, high premium clothing brand. I can honestly say this. I didn't wait till I got a customer base to deliver premium quality clothing. I started off with premium quality clothing. And let me say this to people out there that's making a clothing brand. My very first t-shirt I released 3 years ago, it was a miscommunication with me and the manufacturer. And they were these cheap shirts where as soon as you washed it, it changed. It was like one of those Bahamas 3 for 10 shirts. And so I was quite upset. So what I did was completely changed the company. And everyone that bought that first shirt, I contacted as many people as I could and gave them a free shirt. And they've all been or a replacement shirt. I don't want to say free because they paid for the first one. I was showing them my commitment to great quality. And yeah, man, it's been a beautiful journey ever since, bro.
Man, I don't know if you have a clothing line for pastors or not, Jay, but I'll say this. In 2021, pastors are different, dude. I tell you, I go to a service now, and I don't know if it was the pandemic that hit him in the head or not, because, you know, you and I are relatively close in age. I'm a little bit older than you, but you're not that much younger than me. You remember back in the day, dude, where pastors used to be tight, man. They used to have like a 3-piece suit, big, thick gold chain with a big, thick gold cross. I mean, they was tight, man. They weren't playing any game. I go into church now, you know, and pastors are wearing, you know, high-top Chuck Taylors. They got a hole in the jeans. I mean, you can go to the store now and buy clothes with holes in them already. You ain't got to put a hole in them. They got on hoodies and whatnot, man. I'm like, whoa, this is a different vibe right here, you know. And when the service is over, I don't know whether to say great sermon, pastor, or great sermon, dude.
Well, you know, here's the thing. Clothes. I mean, and you know, I've been in church my whole life, and it's just a matter of transition. You know,
that's all.
I mean, if you think back into let's go all the way back to like the 30s and 40s. Zoot suits was popular. Nobody wearing no zoot suit right now. You know,
I can't wear
even though fashion is a circle, stuff going to circle, and sometimes stuff come back. Like we see bell bottoms coming back and different things like that, or plaid, as we used to call Bob Hope pants. Bob Hope pants are popular again. But you know what? As far as the preachers, because I'm a preacher, you know, and I preach, and you know, summertime t-shirts and jeans. I'm a big sneakerhead, so I'm up in the pulpit preaching with Jordans, jeans, and a t-shirt. You know,
and but that's why I was wondering if you had a clothing line, because a lot of pastors are like going that way. You could have a clothing line for pastors, man.
Yeah, so you know, it's. I actually have a hoodie that says "Focus on God," so that's something a pastor can wear in the pulpit. I actually have a lot of pastors that actually purchase that hoodie because it says "Focus on God," so it's a pretty good meaning. But as far as fashion, I you know, it's not necessarily just because you don't wear a suit don't mean you're not anointed, and because you wear a suit don't mean you're anointed. You know, so you look at and as far as clothes, you have, I think that comes into the age group. You have a Bishop T.D. Jakes. You're not gonna see Bishop T.D. Jakes with a hoodie on and jeans in the pulpit.
Nah, you won't
You
see
know,
TD with a hoodie on. You're right.
right? But you will see Steve Furtick with a hoodie and some jeans on. It's two
All
different
day.
It's two different errors. You know what I'm
Two
saying?
different eras.
And so, yeah, you're not going to see Joe Osteen with a hoodie and jeans on, but you might see my guy. I love his music, Pastor Michael Jr. I mean, not Michael Jr. He's a comedian. Dad, what's his name? Mike? Is it Mike Jr.? Yeah, Pastor
Michael
Mike Jr.
Yeah, Michael Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Jr. is actually a comedian whom I have much respect for. And then Mike Jr. is the one that says, I got it. I love that dude. So he gonna have jeans and a hoodie on. Or John Gray. There we go. Somebody that everybody knows. Pastor John Gray gonna have a hoodie and jeans on. So it's just a matter of
Mike Todd. That Jason Earl says Mike Todd. Mike Todd. Yep. Mike Todd will go out that joint with a hoodie
Mike
on
Todd. In a minute. And Mike Todd is powerful. You know, he got the book out. He got
he is.
You know, a lot of stuff. So yeah, I like Mike Todd too. But
now,
so the hoodies and jeans and you know, and it's just about fashion. Because you said it about pastors. Yeah. Pastors during the time have always stayed in the mode of fashion because we like looking good. Preachers, we like black people. You know, we like looking good. And so whatever the style is at that moment, that's what we're going to do. When jeans with holes in their hoodies pass, and maybe suits come back, like with everybody wearing suits, like we, you know, Chicago mob members, then that's what we're going to do.
I love the Chicago mob. Hey, yo, Jay. Hey, let me say this to you, though. I know you're telling the truth. Testament to the fact that you're telling the truth. I saw a brother not too long ago looking tight, suit on, everything, man. Gold chain, the tie. He stood there. Look, Jay, he stood there. He said, I don't lie.
What?
And he said it again, Jay. He said, I do not lie. Pastor, you got a phone call. Tell him I'm not here. You're right. AJ, yeah, man, you're right. You can't trust him, dude, just because he got a suit on don't mean he's anointed.
Right.
Yeah, yes, sir. Hey, look, Jay, let me ask you this, dude. Now, I just played an excerpt from your Dry Bar comedy special out in Provo, Utah. Awesome comedic ministry, clean comedy ministry. What was it like doing that special out there in Provo?
Oh, well, man, let me say this. When I was in town, Provo, for those of you that don't know, Provo is in Utah. And I have to say that Friday night that I was in Utah, in Provo, I had to be the only black person in Utah that night.
I would believe that. It's very difficult it's very difficult for a brother to get a haircut in Utah.
Man, it's completely different. But I'm gonna say this. I arrived probably about 1 o'clock in the morning with the time difference between East Coast, me being in Cleveland. Shout out to Cleveland, baby. And going to Utah. I arrived in town probably about 1 o'clock in the morning, right? And so it was about an hour drive from the airport to my hotel. And when I woke up in the morning, this is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Okay.
When I opened my blinds, the mountains were like right there. Now you're talking to a city boy from Cleveland, Ohio, waking up and seeing Utah mountains. And I was like, oh my God, God is amazing. This is beautiful. So I had never seen nothing like that. And so that was an amazing experience alone before I even did the comedy show. And so that was a great experience. Wow. And then the people of Provo, they are amazing. Dry Bar, Vid Angel has done a great job in Provo conditioning the people to come out to laugh. And as a comic, I know you understand what I just said when I said they have done a good job of conditioning the people to come out to laugh. Because being a comic, you know, every city is not conditioned to come out to laugh at a comedy club.
No.
And so shout out to Dry Bar and Vid Angel. They're doing a heck of a job.
And you know what? I love what you said there, because when you go to a comedy club, a lot of times, and I'm talking about a quote unquote pro club or atmosphere, not everybody knows what they're doing.
Right.
And so when you go in there, people go to a comedy club to laugh. That's why they go in there to have a good time. And you have to make sure that as the owner of that club, you've got to put everything in place to get the best laughing experience possible. So when you
Right.
go up there as a comic, as long as you have a routine, Jay, and you know what you're doing, you are now set up to do very well on stage.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And now, as I say that, that kind of veers me into another question. I'd love to get your response to this. Because like I said, when you go to a comedy club, dude, you're supposed to go in there to laugh. That's why you walked
Absolutely.
in. So that brings
I already
Dave.
know. I already know where you about to go, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and ask.
Okay, Jay. So you saw. I'm sure that you saw the Dave Chappelle special.
I surely did.
My son came over to me and he wanted me to see the part in question that got him in deep water. And I looked at it and I'm like, I'm okay. Now you just laughed at everybody in here that got joned on. You laughed at blacks, you laughed at Latinos, you laughed at, fat people, short people, and now it's your turn. And now you want to get mad. And I'm like, you don't go to anyway, go ahead, take it from there, Jay.
No, you know what? You are absolutely right. I remember probably about 7 years ago, I saw Aries Spears do a show, and he was hitting everybody.
Yeah.
And that particular day, it was some hearing impaired people there, and they had an interpreter there.
Okay.
And then he started getting on them.
Okay.
And then now the hearing impaired people were laughing. It was somebody else who was not hearing impaired, who had nothing to do with their group, that was like, oh, and this is what Aries said that I respected. He said, now you sit here and watch me and laugh at everybody else that I talked about. And now you want to get awe or sensitive when I talk about them, where they're actually laughing. A comedy club is fair game. Comedy is fair game.
Yeah.
Now, to the Dave Chappelle special, here it is. Here's a fact. Here's a truth for everybody.
Okay.
When it comes to comedy, you know what you're going to get. Okay?
Yeah.
Jay Stevens is a comic that is known around the country, but that is not known. I'm more not known than I am known. Some clubs I could go to and it's going to sell out because they know who I am. Some clubs is not going to sell out the first time because they don't know who I am. But when I come the next year, they're like, yo, this dude is hilarious. So the notoriety is going. And when you come see Jay Stevens, I'm clean, I'm funny, but I can be edgy. That's what you know about Jay Stevens. Okay. Now, when you go see Corey Holcomb, you better know what type of comic Corey Holcomb is, or you're going to be in trouble.
You better know what you do when you go to his show.
You better know it, okay? And Corey Holcomb is not the type of comic where you don't know who he is, because Corey Holcomb is a known name, okay? So let's get into a bigger name. So now I just went from Jay Stevens to Corey Holcomb. Now let's go to Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
There's not a person on the face of this planet Earth, well, in the United States, that don't know who Dave Chappelle is. There's not a person in the United States that don't know the type of material that Dave Chappelle uses.
Yes.
So only clowns, and I'll say it again to the camera, only clowns, freaking clowns will watch Dave Chappelle and then get offended off of what he say. You are a clown because you knew what he was going to say. You knew he was going to talk about lesbians and transgenders and homosexual. You knew it.
You knew it. Yeah.
This society is full of clowns who want to criticize people. I don't listen to bluegrass country music.
Right.
So I'm not going to criticize it. I'm not going to buy an album. I'm not going to listen to a concert because that's not what I do. I don't listen to that type of music. So why would I have an opinion about something I don't listen to? You know what I'm saying? So if you have a judgment about Dave Chappelle, you are a clown because you already knew based on the last 5 specials what he was going to talk about.
Well,
hello.
And that's the thing about it. Not only would you not buy the album, you would not be in the audience at a bluegrass concert. You wouldn't be there.
Nope. And not saying that there's anything wrong with it. No, it's just not what I listen to. You know what I'm saying?
Not what you listen to. It's just
man.
So people need to understand exactly what you just said. It's like, hey, can you just be fair? I mean, you're gonna come in and laugh at everybody and And Dave Chappelle, he pivoted though. What Dave did, he decided, you know what? I'm gonna mess with y'all a little bit because I don't usually mess with y'all like that for real. But tonight I'm gonna mess with you a little bit. He didn't even really go all the way in, but he went in on them.
Yeah, and it was hilarious. It was hilarious.
So now it's your turn, and I'll say this for anybody, Jay. I'll say this for anybody that goes to comedy club, whether you're LGBTQ, I don't know what all the letters are, whether you are this or that or the other thing, because the problem with comedy today is that everybody's got an agenda. Okay, don't come in here with your agenda, dude. We're having fun in here. We come in here to laugh and have some fun. So you leave that agenda stuff at the crib. Don't come in here
at the crib, or don't come.
And people do that now in 2021, and it makes comedy difficult for comedians. Why do I have to sift through your personal opinions and agenda? This is a comedy show, man.
This is a comedy show. And watch this. Let me tell you what people do. People think that they have. First of all, let me say this to the people on behalf of all comics.
We did, June.
We don't care. Say what again?
She said, "Did someone say bluegrass?" Hey, what's up, dude?
That's funny. So here it is. Yeah. And this is to the people on behalf of comics.
Yeah.
We don't care about your opinion if you don't rock with us.
We don't care, Jay.
I did not come to this comedy club that got 300 people in it to care about your one opinion.
That's it.
I don't care. Yeah. I came to make these people laugh tonight. We came to have a good time. And you can do a full hour and say one thing offensive, and the person got the nerve to come to you after the show like, I was offended when you talked about people's belly. Wait a minute. You telling me out of the hour I just did, the only thing you can remember is when I talked about people's belly. Thank you. Get the hell out of my face. I don't care what you got to say. Don't come see me next time. Are you offended because you have a belly? Because first of all, I talked about my belly first and then began to talk about other people's belly. So are you offended at my belly or are you offended at your belly? Like, stop it. Stop it.
Hey, Jay, here's the other thing to that too. And I'm going to switch gears because I know I got on my soapbox, but I want to say this. we as comedians, okay, when we go into the show, we don't go to the stage with any vitriol. We don't go to the stage to hurt anybody's feelings.
No.
We came there to make you feel good. And we came there so that everyone could relate to everything that we said so we can understand that, hey, life's funny and we don't have to be mad about it. We're not up there lying. We're telling the truth and we're there to make everybody feel good. So when you go to a comedy show, understand, even if you may happen to be the butt of a joke, just take it. He didn't mean anything. We're just kidding around. You know what kidding means? Does anybody know what kidding means anymore in 2021? I'm going to tell you right now. There's no way Richard Pryor or George Carlin or Steve Martin or Eddie Murphy or any of those guys that used to kill, they wouldn't survive in 2021. They wouldn't.
Absolutely not.
You think Absolutely Dave Chappelle is bad? Come on, give me a break.
Absolutely. Man, one of my favorite comics to this day is Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac wouldn't have been able to say half the stuff he said. He wouldn't have got away with what he talked about today.
No.
You know,
no, he wouldn't.
I look at some of the movies that we liked growing up. We wouldn't have been able to get away with those movies today.
No.
But no. we weren't a sensitive society. We took it on the chin. And it was what it was, man. You know, but anyway.
Yeah, I just had. Well, I guess I'm saying that because this is the state of comedy in 2020. And I mean, we're Christian comics now. I don't, and I know you don't either. Go out and go, hey, everybody, I'm a Christian comic. But you know, we work for the Lord. We're standing up there for Christ, and we go into some places where they're doing some serious blue stuff. But when we get up there, people are going to understand. Hey, that dude, he represents something. I don't have to announce it. They just look at your routine and they're going to respect you for it, right?
Absolutely.
So in that regard, it's like even at that, you can step on somebody's toes. And so people can't just take a simple joke. It doesn't even have to be complicated, Jay. It boils down to our society can no longer take a simple joke.
Facts. That is the truth. And here it is. Comics to the people, we don't care. We're going to do comedy.
We really don't. Hey,
we're
Jay,
going
really
to make you laugh. We're going to do what we do because this is what God gifted us to do. I mean, everything has critics. Comics, novelty writers, athletes, musicians, preachers,
100%.
Food. Heck, you got people who put they all into food, and then you got some clown who gonna write an article about your meal that you did. Now, the person that's writing the article can't even freaking cook, but they're gonna write an article and critique your food that you put your heart and soul in at your restaurant, and you hoping that this person gives you a 5-star review so that people can start coming out. We live in a society where the most critics aren't even talented. They're talented with the pen to try to criticize people who are doing and working in their ability. Let me say this. Critiquing is not an ability. Critiquing is not a gift. Critiquing is something that people do when they are not talented.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's it. That's exactly what. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to wrap this up in a bow and move on to my next question. I just want to announce to everybody, hey, listen, if you're sensitive, if things kind of bother you and you're kind of edgy, you probably don't want to go to a comedy show.
You probably
you're not
don't.
willing to let go of those things that's why you go to the comedy show, so you can stop being so stressed out about what makes you mad. Leave all of that stuff outside. Leave it out there on the street before you walk into the club and go, you know what? I'm going to have a good time tonight.
I'm going to have a good time. Here's something. We could say this before we move forward. I heard T.D. Jakes say this a long time ago. This is for people who are doing anything in their life and they have a dream for something that they want to do, but they're scared about what people are going to say.
Yeah.
From T.D. Jakes to different books that I've read on entrepreneurs and successful business people, men and women. T.D. Jakes was writing an article for, I believe it was, which magazine was it? Oh, it was a business, New York Times. He was writing a portion of the New York Times, the business section.
Okay.
And he was writing. And then one time he stopped writing. And then he ran into the person and she asked him, why did you stop sending those articles in? And he said, I started reading the comments. And she said, oh, Bishop Jakes, let me tell you something. The people who actually read our articles are too busy in life to make comments. The people who make comments are those that don't have a life. That right there is powerful enough for you, for whatever dream you got going on, to be like, I don't care what people about to say. God talented me to be an entertainer, an athlete, a chef, a lawyer, a doctor, a writer, a painter. Whatever your gift is, move in that gift. People are going to have something to say whether you operate in your gift or you don't.
Man, let me tell you, dude, and I think that it even sometimes, because it's just the times that we live in. I mean, like hecklers, for example. I mean, I can be on stage. I've turned probably, I would say 85% of the people that have, no, I would say 95% of the people that have, like, quote unquote, interrupted my show, that said something out of pocket or just said something, I go, okay, that person's excited. They're excited. They're geeking because they're at a comedy show and they're having fun. So I don't fry them. You know, I'll go, hey, yeah, you know what, dude, that's a good point, but now sit down because I got another point. You're going to love the next part. You got to sit down first. You know, I'll say something so that they'll understand that, you know, I'm the one that's in control, but it's all good. I'm not mad at you. And they'll sit down. Now, that same incident could turn into a heckling situation because some comics can't wait to fry a person.
They can't wait. You're right.
I mean? And so it doesn't have to be like that either. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like that either, Jay. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but don't get it twisted though. If you speak out at a comedy club, you're asking for whatever comes with it.
Yeah, well, no, you are. I tend to lean on the side of just, giving them a break because I realize, okay, that person is just geeked right now and they're
Mhm.
excited to be at the show. And I'll
Right.
give them that one warning and they usually sit down. But speaking of hecklers, how do you as a man of God deal with hecklers?
Well, I deal with hecklers based on the heckler. You know,
Okay.
hey,
Yeah.
don't let the man of God, don't let the man of God fool you because I'll smash you. Like
Oh
we
yeah.
came to this club to have fun, and if I'll give you a warning or two, but after a while, and then I found this to work too, and also this. Here's something.
Yeah.
When people spend $30 on tickets at comedy club, you really don't deal with hecklers too much as you begin to grow. I'm 20-year veteran. You don't deal with hecklers too much. You deal with
Yeah.
hecklers at bars and early on when nobody knows who you are. But when you establish 20, I'm a 20-year veteran.
Good point.
I'll,
That's a good
I'll
point.
give you a warning. And like you say, you have the judgment to know this person just having fun. And then you also know, no, this person wanted to be a part of the show. So then you
Yeah.
have to ignore them because watch this. Some people actually want you to keep on riding them because they want to be a part of the show. So you also have to have the wisdom to say, nah, I'm not even going to give them attention. Because sometimes if you just don't say nothing to the person, even though they just said one or two things, they'll get it like, oh man, this dude tripping. He ain't even going to say nothing to me. And then they'll shut up. So
Let,
it's just a matter of you have to know the heckler. You have to know, okay, I'm gonna have to smash you to shut you up. Okay, they're just having fun. I'm gonna just let them just keep laughing and say a little something, or maybe just, hey, how
yeah.
you doing? Uh, or some you have to ignore. I think it's just about knowing. But this is what I'll do sometimes. I'll be like, all right, now I didn't say something to you twice. If you say one more thing, I'm gonna smash everybody else at your table, and I ain't gonna say nothing to you. Now everybody that's at the table, like, hey man, you better shut the hell up, bro, because he better not say nothing about me.
I,
So
I've never, Jay, I've never heard that tactic before where you would get everybody except the actual heckler. That's interesting. That's a great,
yeah,
interesting tactic.
yeah, because now you're bringing everybody else that he came with at the table. They like, hey man,
That's
shut up,
funny.
because he ain't gonna
That's
say nothing
funny.
about me. I ain't even got nothing to do with it. So it's ways, man.
Oh man, that's funny. I love that. Let me ask you something, man, about timing because it's all about reading the room and just how are you going to respond to certain things. How long did it take you, Jay, in general, just to develop good timing on stage?
Repetition.
Okay.
Repetition, time after time after time after time. And stage time, it's magical. It's just like
Yeah.
with anything else. You play basketball, if you shoot threes once a month, you're gonna be okay. But if you shoot threes 3-4 times a week, you're gonna be great.
Yeah.
Stage timing it just is not necessarily a specific amount of years. It is because you get better as you go, but it's all about stage time. Like stand on stage, stand on stage, stand on stage, and perfecting your craft,
Yeah.
understanding your craft. Uh, I used to only do my set. I used to only do my set and no crowd work. And then about 7 years ago, I had seen Sinbad
Okay.
perform. And
Okay.
this dude did like 90 minutes of crowd work, changed my entire delivery as a comic. From
Wow.
there on, so the past 7 years, I've been adding crowd work to my show. And every show is different because every crowd is different.
Yeah.
I can have
Yeah.
like I do my set based on categories. So I can have 10 categories. Okay, I'm gonna talk about these 10 categories this hour. Because of crowd work, I might only get through 5 of the categories. And the crowd work is so fun and so amazing that every show is different. So and that helps with your delivery. That helps with your stage time, your timing, your presence, and everything. And it also makes you a better comic because it makes your brain stronger. Because if you're doing crowd work, you got to be like this. So crowd work and,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and improv is kind of like the same thing because you got to be like this immediately. So that has made me a better comic. So shout out to Sinbad for being the king of it. And I love it, man.
I was talking to, I don't know if you've ever had a chance to meet Mark Christopher Lawrence or not. Have you ever met Mark?
No.
Okay, Mark Christopher Lawrence is a comic out of the California area, Los Angeles, and he's been in like a lot of big time films. He was in the film with The Pursuit of Happiness and what's
Okay.
that? The Terminator 2. He's been in a lot of stuff, but he's a comic as well. And he told me that, Bill, this is part of the timing. You gotta slow down, man. Slow down. Tell your joke and let the audience enjoy the joke before you move on. He said he went from a 7-minute set to 25 by simply doing that.
Watch this. This is what I tell comics that's just starting comedy. And when I tell them this, there's no easier way to break it down.
Okay.
You have an MC, you have a feature, you have a headliner. A MC is a machine gun. I got to hit you because I only got 7 to 10 minutes.
Right.
A feature is a 9mm. Pop, 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 pop. I can hit you. I can slow down. A headliner is a shotgun. Blue. Blue.
Okay. Interesting.
And I don't know how I came up with that for guns, but it was just the person I was talking to. But it was an easy way of breaking it down. It was just the delivery. Boom, 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 boom. So it was like, hey, tell the joke, let it marinate. As a seasoned comic, here we go. You know what a seasoned comic is not afraid of? That comics who are just starting off are afraid of?
What's that?
Silence.
There it is.
Silence.
Jay. Yeah.
A seasoned comic is not afraid of silence because he delivers the joke, bam. He let it marinate. He sip his water. It could be silent for about 30 seconds, and then he'll come back, boom, hit you with the next joke because we are so confident in what we're about to deliver and what we deliver that silence is nothing to a seasoned comic.
Let me tell you something. I know it's not popular now, but I like Bill Cosby. But I can say this to you. My wife and I saw him at the Kennedy Center about maybe 15 years ago, and he sat there. He came out, Jay, and sat down in a chair with a bottle of water and proceeded to dominate and kill for 90 minutes. And he was just cruising. He was just cruising, man. He wasn't in a hurry. He was telling little stories about his house and the alarm, the alarm at the house or whatever. He was just taking his time. He was sipping his water, and he was dominated for 90 minutes. He just killed.
Watch this. So look at the confidence of that comic. You know what that is? That is Bill saying, "You guys can't wait to what I say next, and I'm gonna just cruise."
Yeah,
because you guys know for a fact that what I deliver next is gonna be hilarious. Whether it takes 2 minutes to build up to the punchline, or whether it takes 8 minutes to build up to the punchline with laughter in between,
100%.
You guys know by the time I get to the peak of this joke or story, you're gonna die laughing.
Now, I love what you said though about silence. Because Dave Chappelle can go up there and he's very comfortable with no one responding. I mean, you can hear a pin drop sometimes if you watch any of his specials.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There are moments where you could hear a pin drop, but people are completely mesmerized by him and they're listening and hanging on every word that he says. So now, Dave's like, you know what I think about this? And he'll tell a little story about why he thinks something or whatever. And then boom, there's a punchline. Everybody's laughing. And he's not afraid of silence. And all of the pros, all of the best ones are not afraid of silence. And that's something that comics have to learn. Tell your story, man.
Tell your story and don't be afraid of silence. But it comes with time. It comes with time. Like we said, myself, I'm 20 years in. I'm not impressed with silence because that means I have your attention. You're listening. Bill Cosby, Sinbad, Dave Chappelle. You know who else is really, really good at telling stories and will take his time? Ali Sadiq.
Oh, I really like her. She's really good.
No. Ali Sadiq is a guy.
It is? Okay, I'm thinking
Yeah,
about someone else. She's got a
yeah,
similar
yeah.
name, Ali or something.
Ali Sadiq, and
I know
he man,
I know who you're talking about now. Yeah.
yeah, he's
I've never
great.
seen him perform, but I know who you're talking about.
He's great with telling stories. I mean,
Okay.
my God, great, you know. And so just being seasoned, man, and when you get to and watch this, when you get to a certain level of your career,
Yeah.
your followers, they know who you are. So they're expecting something great when they come to your performance. So you already got them.
Yeah.
Watch this comics that have been in the game for a while or new comics. When they buy the ticket to your show, you already got them. Whether the ticket was $5 or $100, they bought the ticket with your face on it, your name on the marquee. You already got them.
And that goes back to what you were saying earlier in this conversation about Dave Chappelle. You already know what Dave's going to do. You bought the ticket knowing how Dave is. And now you're mad?
I
Anyway,
said this to some. Yeah, no, because Dave Chappelle is the hot topic right now. I said this to somebody last week. I said, yo, watch this. Let me show you what negative publicity does. Negative publicity says, oh, wow, I haven't seen his special and everybody's talking about it. Look at all these critics. Let me go watch it. So how many millions of people watched it because of what somebody else was saying? Oh my goodness, look at how powerful. Look at, see, Dave Chappelle's a genius. I'm going to hit y'all with this. I'm going to be myself, but I'm going to get so many views from y'all talking about it that it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. And the numbers are huge. As a matter of fact, they wanted Netflix to take it down. Netflix said, we're not taking anything down.
Right.
We're not taking anything down. So, yeah, I mean, it's all about getting people interested in what you're saying, and Dave Chappelle definitely got that. He's a genius. He is.
Yes, he is. He's
of
genius.
Comedy today, Jay. Dave Chappelle of today is the GOAT of comedy today.
Oh, for sure, and nobody would disagree with that.
Yeah,
comics alike and everybody. The boy is the man.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
And let me tell you something. Dude, there's nobody close. I mean, people, and I'm going to say a name, and I'm not, trashing the individual. Kevin Hart. I like Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is not Dave Chappelle. Kevin Hart gives you the good stuff. He's funny, and now he's starting to kind of getting a little repetitive, but I still like Kevin. You know what you're going to get from Kevin Hart, but he's nowhere near Dave Chappelle. And there's nobody, I just used him as an example. There's nobody out there close to Dave Chappelle.
Well, they're two different deliveries. Kevin Hart is a good, friendly, non-controversial delivery, which worked for Kevin. It worked. Look at what Kevin Hart is. Dave Chappelle is controversy all day long. So it's two different styles of delivery. And even if you go back to Kevin Hart's early on, because I'm a Kevin Hart fan. That's my guy. You go all the way back to Grown Little Man. He has never been a controversial type comic, which worked for him. If you go back to the beginning from Dave Chappelle, he's always been a controversial type comic. So it goes back to what I said earlier. You know what you're going to get when you go see them. They're both successful in their lane.
They're both successful. I can tell you another comic that I like a lot who's clean, and it's Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld is probably 60. He's probably 65, 66. He's getting up there, but he still does open mics in New York. He still works on his material. Just to piggyback on what you were saying before we got started about, dude, you got to get on stage. You've got to get your reps in. And one thing I love about Seinfeld is he's humble enough to go into an open mic, even though they're huge open mic, not the typical open mic, but it's still an open mic, and bomb and work on his stuff.
You know what? The thing about New York open mics are completely different than any other city. New York open mics are like, it's not like open mics at regular, like a New York style open mic is like, wait a minute, what? Jerry Seinfeld is here? Oh my God, let's go. Oh my God, what? Corey Holcomb is here? Oh my God, what? Miss Patty's here? Oh my God, what? A Country Wayne is here. Oh my God, what? I mean, so anybody can pop up in a comedy club in New York and do open mics.
Well, but just like Los Angeles, same thing, right?
Same thing with Los Angeles, but New York is kind of is New York, then it's Los Angeles,
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because LA is just entertainment as a conglomerate. Like everybody's there, musicians,
Okay.
actors, comedians, and everybody can try music. If you are a reality show star who wants to start doing comedy, you can get some time because of who you are. That's in LA. In New York, you got to be a comic.
Gotcha.
So that's why I say New York first, then LA.
Yeah.
But one thing about Jerry, to piggyback off what you said about Jerry loves the craft of comedy. He's a comic. This is what I love about comedy. I'm 45. I've been in the game for 20 years.
Okay.
And I feel I should be a lot further than what I am. And I feel over the next couple of years, I will get there. So let's say I don't get to where I want to be until I'm 50 in 5 more years.
Okay.
If I live to be 80, I still got 30 more years to kill the game.
Sure.
Comedy and I would say R&B are 2 arts that you can do until you die. You can't rap. Jay-Z can't put out an album at 65 and cats like, you get that new Jay-Z?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's killing the game right now, even though he's in his 50s. But still, he ain't nobody buying no Jay-Z album at 65. He ain't, you know what I'm saying?
No.
But on the flip side of that, Beyonce can keep dropping heat because she's an R&B singer. Aretha Franklin, different people sung R&B until they died. Comedy, we could do comedy until we die. And actually, the older we get, the longer we've been doing it, the greater we get. We just said it. Jerry Seinfeld, Bill Cosby, Sinbad, Red Fox. I mean, these guys were in their 60s, 70s, Richard Pryor, doing it until the day they died. So
I got
that
a name
is
for
what's
you that
amazing about
piggybacks on what. Yeah, I got a name that piggybacks on what you just said. He died recently at 96, 95, and he was performing on stage in his 90s. Don Rickles.
Don Rickles, I already knew that's what he was about to say. And Don Rickles has respect out of everybody. Don Rickles was in his 90s, but would still roast you. How are you a beast in your 90s? And all roasting is playing the dozens. How can you crack on people in your 90s and still smash people? Like Don Rickles would smash you. You know who else is a comic that I freaking love and respect? Betty White. Betty White came out with a special, not a special, a TV show in her 80s. Remember the TV show that Betty White? It was a sketch comedy type show where everybody on her staff, I don't want to say staff, but all the actors and comedians were all old people, like in their 70s and 80s, and they were doing these hilarious skits. Oh my goodness. Comedy is amazing.
But it is amazing, yeah.
It is. Comedians out there, no matter how long it takes for us to get to where we are, baby, enjoy the journey. Right now, you only have a faithful 20 people that like your skits and a faithful 50 that come out and see you at a comedy club. Freaking kill the game with that faithful 20 and that faithful 50. And one day, it'll be a faithful 10,000 that's coming to see you at an arena.
Jay, there's no expiration date on comedy.
It's not.
You can keep killing it, dude, and you just get better and better at it. Jay, let me just say this to you, my friend. This has been a great conversation. I'm so glad you agreed to come back on for the second time, Jay. And you before we get out of here, though, is there any advice? You've given out a lot of golden nugget advice, but is there any advice you can give young comics out there that are thinking about making this a full-time deal, especially clean comics?
Man, keep your voice. You can listen to so many comics, and just because something works for them and makes them laugh, you have to have the confidence to write like you write. Be confident in your voice. Your voice is not someone else's voice, and their voice and jokes is not your jokes. Be who you are, be authentic, and you will continue to write. Authenticity never runs out. Copycats do. Authenticity lasts forever.
Jay, great advice, man. Great advice. I want to Give a big shout out to the good folks at KCHF TV in Albuquerque, New Mexico, TV 11. And you can always check them out on kchftv.org for live streaming every Saturday night at 8 o'clock. You can see the Maurice Brown Show, and you can see the latest edition with Jay Stevens this Saturday night at 8 o'clock. And if you came in and you're like, I missed it. No. You didn't miss it. See, all you got to do is go to the Creative Motion Network on Roku TV about midday tomorrow. Watch the whole thing again. And if you're like been just chilling and enjoying this interview, like it and share it. And then subscribe to the Maurice Brown Comedy Channel, as well as any social media engine that my main man Jay Stevens is a part of. Yeah.
So check this out. My name is Jay Stevens Live on all social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I put up a new skit every single day. Well, probably 5 days a week. I put up a new comedy skit. Follow me, especially I'm really growing my TikTok. So if you're on TikTok and you like watching TikTok, follow your boy on TikTok, Jay Stevens Live. I am killing it on TikTok. Some of my videos are like 4 million, some 3 million, some 1 million, some just 100 views. the algorithm determines where your videos go, but I am killing the game out there. So please follow me on social media. You will definitely enjoy it. Also, I forgot to mention this, and I'm going to put it up on my website in the next 30 minutes. Okay. My new comedy album dropped on Friday. Okay. It's through Helium Records, which is the Helium Comedy Club. It's called Let's Talk About It. Actually, within the next 30 minutes, it'll be available on my website, jstevenslive.com. Let me say this too, because I know we only got a couple minutes. Can we say something to the new comics? Comics, be consistent. Have the same website and the same name. It's easy for people to find you. Don't have different names on every social media. Mm-hmm. Jay Stevens Live is my website, my YouTube, my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Facebook. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it consistent. But yes, be sure to follow me and also go to my website, and I will definitely have the link up for you to purchase this album. It's only $10. It's a download. It's through Amazon, and you're definitely going to laugh.
Well, check him out. Jay Stevens on the Maurice Brown Show. I don't know how many followers you've got, but I watch your videos, and they're hilarious. I love them. So I would highly advise you guys out there, check out Jay Stevens. Go to his website, jstevenslive.com, and check him out. Very, very funny. Once again, Jay Stevens on the Maurice Brown Show. Jay, thank you so much, man. May the peace of Jesus Christ be with you and your family, brother. God bless you.
God bless you too, sir.